Hello everyone. Today I'm coming back with a new programming algorithm, dynamic programming. In that we are seeing Floyd's algorithm. So before seeing the algorithm, please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to receive my latest updates. Floyd's algorithm. It is called as a Floyd after the inventor R. Floyd. It can be used for weighted graph. The graph can be directed or undirected. Floyd algorithm can be used to find all pair shortest path. The approach of the problem is similar to the Warshall's algorithm, as we have covered this Warshall's algorithm in the last video. Floyd's algorithm will find the distance matrix. So two important things we have to make a note here. Floyd's algorithm will find the distance matrix. Floyd's algorithm is also called as all pair shortest path. So now here we are seeing the procedure for the Floyd's algorithm. We have to mark one row and one column. So here I have marked in this jth row and mth column. So in this row and column I have 3, 2 and 4 as the values. So where there is an value intersection, suppose I am going to draw an imaginary line from JL. So JL is going to have an imaginary line something like this. So this line and I am going to draw an imaginary line from KM. So KM is having an imaginary line. So the point of intersection for KM and JL is infinity. Infinity is the largest value. It can either represent a large value or the point where there is no line or coincidence. So now what we are going to do is we have to 3 plus 4. 3 plus 4 is the value. So the value of this becomes 7. So this 7 is here. So the 3 and 4 is added up to get the value. Instead of infinity which is a very large value, so we are going to replace that largest value with the value 7, that is the addition of 3 and 4. Now again we have another intersection, that is IL is having, and then I am drawing another line of imagination. So this is an point of intersection where 3 plus 2 is 5, but here we are going to see that the value 2 is much lesser than 5. So we are not going to replace the 5 value with the 2 value, so we are going to retain the previous existing. We replaced infinity because infinity was very large, but we are going to retain 2 because 2 is very small compared to 3 plus 2, 5. So this is the procedure for Floyd's algorithm. After seeing the procedure of the Floyd's algorithm, now we'll write the adjacency matrix. So now we are seeing the weighted graph. So for this we are going to write an weighted adjacency matrix. So in weighted adjacency matrix, the edges between A to B or any edges between the two vertices will be the weight. That weight will be represented in the matrix format. So here in this graph we don't have any self loop, so the diagonal elements will be 0. So diagonal elements A to A, B to B, C to C, D to D are 0. So after this we are going to represent the rest of the other edges. So we don't have any edge from A to B, so that will be infinity. So infinity will be here. So A to C there is an edge, so A to C will be 3. A to D we don't have any edge, so if there is no edge, then it is represented as infinity. Then after this vertex B to A there is an edge and its weight is 2. B to B we have already seen it as 0. B to C there is no edge going from, no connection or no edge going from B to C, so B to C is again an infinity. So B to C is infinity. Next B to D we don't have again an edge, so the edge will be 0, or sorry, not 0, infinity. Then C to A there is no edge, so C to A is infinity. So C to A is infinity. C to B we don't have any edge. C to B we have an edge and its weight is 7. C to C there is no self loop, so 0. C to D there is an edge and its weight is 1. D to A there is an edge and its weight is 6. C to B to D to B there is no edge, it is infinity, so infinity is represented here. D2C again there is no edge, so it's infinity. So D2C is infinity. D2D we have already seen it as 0. So this is about adjacency matrix or weighted adjacency matrix. So after seeing the procedure for drawing an adjacency matrix and normal procedure for doing this, so we'll start with the procedure for Floyd's algorithm. So whatever the matrix we are going to get here in the Floyd's algorithm, we call it as distance matrix. So distance matrix, first initially distance matrix is 0, that is whatever the adjacency matrix we got, that is represented as distance matrix 0 or D0. So now we start with the procedure. So in the start of the procedure we have to mark the first row and the first column. So first column is marked and first row is marked. In this column and row, which vertex which column and the row is having the values. So I can see that in this column there is a value 2, there is a value 6. Okay, so in this row I have the weight 3. So these are the valid values. I cannot consider the infinity as the valid values, because infinity mean that there is no edge from a particular vertex. So 2, 6 and 3 are the valid values. Now what we are going to do is we are going to draw an imaginary line from the valid values selected. So I am going to draw an imaginary line. B2A is 2, so I am going to draw a line from BA. So if I am going to draw a line from BA, it goes something like this. Then after this, one imaginary line from the row and the other imaginary line from the column will come. So from the row section I am going to draw this. So where this point is meeting, this point is meeting at BC. So BC is infinity. So here BA was 2 and AC was 3. 3 plus 2 will become 5 at the position BC. So 5 is represented here. Next again I am going to draw an imaginary line from DA. So this line goes here, and we can see that the line already present from AC. So the point of intersection is again an infinity. So infinity value is too high, so I can add 6 plus 3. 6 plus 3 now becomes 9. So 9 has been represented here. So now with the latest value, by drawing the imaginary lines, we got this values which are represented now. 5 and 9 are the new values selected. So now after drawing an imaginary line, so imaginary line, after drawing an imaginary line, we selected the two valid values here. After selecting the valid values, we got 5 and 9 as the latest value. So these 5 and 9 updated values, now this becomes an distance matrix, new distance, updated distance matrix. This I am taking for the next output. So next input. So next input would be D1, distance matrix 1. Distance matrix 1. In distance matrix 1, I am going to select the second row and the second column. So this is the second row and the second column. So in the second row and the second column, I am again marking out the valid values. So 2 is valid here, 5 is valid here, 7 is valid here. So again I got 3 valid values in these. So I have to draw the imaginary lines. So from 2 I am going to draw an imaginary line which goes something like this. One in the row, one in the column I have to choose. So from the row I have chosen 2, from the column I am choosing 7. So I drew an imaginary line from 7. So the point of intersection will be CA. CA is infinity. So CA is much higher, infinity is much higher compared to 7 plus 2 value. 7 plus 2 becomes 9. So I have represented 9 in this, in the solution matrix. So next one, I have to draw another imaginary line from BC. So BC, if I draw an imaginary line like this, the point of intersection is here. Sorry, the point of intersection will be something like this. So this one is 0. So 7 plus 5 becomes 12, but 0 is much lesser than the value 9. Sorry, 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 is greater than 0, so I will retain 0 as the value without updating the latest value. So after getting these values, this is an updated table now. So this updated table will be used for the next distance matrix. So you can see that we are following the dynamic programming, where one value will form the input to the other next output. So now distance matrix D2 is formed. Now distance matrix, in this distance matrix we have to choose the third row and the third column. So in the third row and the third column we are seeing that, so 9 is a valid value, 7 is a valid value, 1 is the valid value. And in the column we are seeing 3, 5 and 9. So these are the valid values we are seeing. So I will erase out these points. So again I'm going to draw this row, this column and this row. So now I'm going to draw an imaginary line. So imaginary line is being drawn from CA. CA is 9. So from this I am going to draw an imaginary line. So if I draw an imaginary line from the row section, then one should be from the column section. So if I draw this imaginary line something like this, so the point of intersection will be here. So this is 0. This is AA. AA is 0. So the point of intersection is at AA. AA is 0. So this value is 9 plus 3 becomes 12. 0 is much lesser than 12, so we are not going to change this to 12, but in turn we are retaining 0. So next I am going to draw an imaginary line from 7. So I'll erase this. So next one is from 7. So imaginary line is drawn from 7. 3 from 3, the point of intersection is here. So this is infinity. So 7 plus 3, so infinity has to be replaced with the value 3 plus 7 is equals to 10. So now this value is 10. So we get a new value at the position BA is 10. So next again I am going to erase this out. So next I am going to draw an imaginary line from 1. So 1 is here and 3 is here. So this is going to form an intersection at infinity. So infinity, 3 plus 1 is 4. So infinity is much higher than 4. So I am going to replace infinity with 4. So I got the new value 4. So after this, so please make sure that you have to find an imaginary line for every value over here selected. So again I am going to draw the imaginary line for 5. So this goes something like this. So now this 5 is going to be intersected with 9. This is forming an intersection at the point 2 where it is BA. BA is 2. So 9 plus 5 is 14. 14 is much greater than 2. So I am not going to change anything with 2. So 2 is lesser and I retain 2. So after this again I am going to draw an imaginary line from 7. So from 7 if I draw this is going to intersect at 0. So 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 is greater than 0, so I am not going to change anything with 0. I will retain 0 as it is. So next I am going to draw the imaginary line from 1 and 5. This becomes the point of intersection at infinity. So 5 plus 1 becomes 6. 6 is much lesser than infinity, so I am going to replace infinity with 6. So I get a new value 6 at the position BD. So next after this I am going to draw an imaginary line from 9. So downwards, and from this 9 I am going to draw the point of intersection is 6, that is DA. DA is 6. 9 plus 9 becomes 18. 18 is greater than 6, so I am not going to change 6, so I am going to retain 6 as it is. So I am again drawing an imaginary line from 7. So point of intersection becomes DB. So DB is infinity. 7 plus 9 is 16. 16 is lesser than infinity, so I get a new value 16 over here. Done. So again I'm going to draw an imaginary line from 9 and 1, and it becomes an intersection at the position DD. DD is 0, but here I'm getting 10. 10 is greater than 0, so I'm not going to change anything with 0. So I'm going to retain the values as they are, 0. So I get these latest values with me. Some have been replaced, some have been retained. So whatever the values I get, these form an input for the next distance matrix. So this distance matrix is taken, and this becomes D3 as a new distance matrix. So this new distance matrix, again I am going to mark the last row, fourth one, and the fourth column. So I have drawn the fourth row, highlighted the fourth row, the fourth column. In this I get 6, I get 16, I get 9 as the important values, 4, 6 and 1 as the important values. So I am going to draw an imaginary line from them. So I am from 6, if I draw, this is going to draw an imaginary line. So now I am not going to draw an imaginary line, please understand them. So 6 and this 4 is going to intersect at 0. So 0 is 6 plus 4 becomes 10. 0 is much lesser than 10, so I am going to retain 0 as the value. So next 6 and 6 becomes 12. So this is getting intersected at this point 2. 2 is much lesser than 12, so I am going to retain 2 as it is. So 6, again I am going to draw an imaginary line from 6 and 1. 6 plus 1 becomes 7, but here there is 9. 9 is superior than, is greater than 7, so I am going to replace this 9 with the new value 7, because the value of the 6, this is imaginary line 6 and this is imaginary line 1. So this is going to be intersected here. 9 is the value. Now 6 plus 1 becomes 7. 7 is the latest value. So I replaced this 7. Replace this 9 with 7. So after this, I am going to draw an imaginary line from the next row 16. So from 16, if I draw an imaginary line, and from 4, if I draw an imaginary line, it is going to meet over here. So 10. 16 plus 4 becomes 20, but 10 is much lesser than 20, so I am going to retain this 10. So next 16 is drawn and 6 is drawn, so this is at the position 0. 0 is lesser than 22. 16 plus 6, 22, so 0 is retained. So next 16 plus 1 is 17. 17 is greater than 7, so I am going to retain this value 7 as it is. So now 7 is retained. So next I am going to draw an imaginary line from 9. So from 9 it is going to intersect at 4, 3. From 4, if I draw an imaginary line, it is going to intersect at the value 3. So 3, 9 plus 4 is 13. 13 is much greater than 3. I am going to retain 3. 9 is forming an intersection with 6, and it forms an intersection at the point 5, or at the position DC. DC is BC is 5. So 9 plus 6 becomes 15, but 5 is much lesser than 15, so 5 is retained. 9 is drawn in imaginary line, and 1 is drawn in imaginary line, which coincides at CC. CC is 0 and 10 is greater than 0, so 0 is retained as a value. So all values have been retained and checked, and this only value which has been changed is 7. So this forms an input for the next distance matrix D4. So D4 is here. So as we have already covered all rows and all columns, so whatever we have formed here becomes the final distance matrix. So finally, whatever the value or the matrix we get after reusing the Floyd's algorithm, the matrix is called as distance matrix. This distance matrix, the importance of this distance matrix is, by seeing this matrix we can identify that A is a vertex. This vertex can reach itself at the cost 0. Okay, there is no doubt, because to reach A to A there is no route traveled, so it is 0. If I want to travel from A to B, its cost is C. here, sorry, its cost is 10. See here, this distance matrix is going to represent the value to travel from one vertex to the other vertex. So for example, A to B is 10. So from the graph here we'll see that to travel from A to B, it according to this distance matrix it is saying 10. So how is this 10? So it is from A there is no direct value from to B, so it has to travel to C. So A to C is 3. From C it has to travel to B, so it's this one, its value is 7 and 3. So 3 plus 7 becomes 10. So A is 10, A to B is 10. Now A to C is 3. So we already have 3 direct route from A to C, so there is no worry about this. A to C is direct, is 10, sorry 3. Then after this, if we consider A to D as 4, what is A to D? A to D we don't have any direct route, so it has to go from A to C. A to C is 3, then A to C is 3 and C to D is 1, so total cost is 4. So we got 4. So this is how we are going to represent our distance matrix. This is the way we are getting, and this distance matrix has been achieved through Floyd's algorithm. So this is how we have achieved the Floyd's algorithm. So if we have any doubts, please comment in the comment box. Thank you.